I am so confused, befuddled. My mind is racing. Let me tell you what's going on. I have a couple friends who are both telling me that I get to heaven through different ways. I mean, first there was Julie, and Julie was like, you get to heaven by being kind and nice and friendly to people. And then Joe was like, just don't do bad things or else you're gonna have karma or caramel, or do I eat it? I don't know what's going on. I need to find Professor T.
Whoa! Hey, Mr. B, what's up?
I am so confused.
Have a seat. Let's hear about it.
Thanks. Okay. So I've got a couple friends. Yeah, believe it or not, two awesome friends, and they're telling me that there's different ways to get to heaven. So Julie's saying, like, just do good stuff, and Joe was like, don't do bad stuff, and then he said something about caramels or I eat it. I don't know what's going on.
I think you mean karma?
Maybe that's what he said. That's probably right.
Yeah.
What's that?
Karma is like when you do something bad, then more bad happens to you. Some people believe that. But
okay.
Yeah, that's not right, Mr. B.
No, it's confusing. It's confusing like the trip to my grandma's house.
What? How?
Yeah.
How is a trip to your grandma's house confusing?
So my grandma lives way out there. You know, like grandmas do, just so far away. And whenever I drive to her house, it's like I'm driving and my GPS will be like, take a right, take a left, redirecting, go in a circle. And then my wife will be like, no, your GPS is, and then she'll turn on hers and it'll be like, keep going straight. You're almost there. I don't know what to listen to.
Okay, well, you do know how GPSs work, right?
No. Why would I know?
Well, this might help a little bit, Mr. B. You see, each GPS has its own app, and that app directly talks to a satellite that's way up in space, and it gives those directions back down to your phone or your computer or your iPad or your car.
That's amazing.
So if you have different apps going at the same time, you could get different directions.
And that's exactly what happened. And so I turned off mine and just listened to the app my wife had, and we got there in time for lunch.
Perfect. You know, that kind of reminds me, Mr. B, that when you're listening to all these voices and people telling you this is how you get to heaven, that's not what you want to do.
Right.
You want to look at God's word, because in John 14, verses 6 and 7, Jesus tells us, I am the way, I'm the truth, and I'm the life. No one comes to the Father except through me. Jesus said that.
Oh, that makes way more sense. But what do I do with the karma?
Well, if I were you, Mr. B, I would stick with caramels and leave the karma alone.
Genius. I think I'll do just that.
Wait a minute. No,
right.
those are mine. Mr. B. What?
Jesus wants it to be simple. There is only one way to heaven, and it's through his death and resurrection for us. With all these other religions going on, there's all these different rules and different ways to get to heaven. And the reality is those aren't truth. The truth is this: when Jesus says, I am the way, the truth, and the life, no one gets to my Father. No one gets to heaven except through me. Jesus is saying that there aren't many ways. There's one way. All we have to do is believe in Jesus, that he really lived and died and rose from the dead for us. That's it. We believe in him. There's one way to heaven. So all that karma talk, let's not do that. Let's instead focus on Jesus. But in the meanwhile, we can eat some delicious caramels. I bet Julie and Joe would love these, and I could tell them about Jesus, the way, the truth, and the life.